Peace, peace, peace. Hope everybody's doing well. Today is March 16, 2021. Got my brother Fire here with me.
Yes,
Coney Island's finest, you know what I'm saying? The hardest working man that I know, man. I respect him so much, man. He's a very close brother of mine, and you know, seeing his ascension and his growth is just is pivotal. And you know, Coney Island for the win, man.
It's mutual, man. It's an honor to be here with you, King. It's an honor to be here and build with you.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not so quick to call myself the hardest worker because I'm always trying to work a little harder. But I thank you for noticing the efforts.
No, absolutely.
The work is never done.
No, absolutely.
Sometimes I feel like that's our whole purpose of why we're here, to do some form of work.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing. Support the channel. Today's topic will be when we become victims of our own insanity, we block our ascension to our purpose. When we become victims of our own insanity, we block our ascension to our purpose. So with that being said, ascension to our purpose comes with many different obstacles. That the main obstacle is always self, before the obstacles that's externally put around us. And to be able to tap into that and to ascend and have the right circle around you that is not a bunch of yes people, but they're telling you things that are beneficial to your growth, to you becoming a better version of yourself, which is ultimately what every man and woman should want to do. It's very critical. So Fire, tell them your journey and how do you feel about that?
First and foremost, you know, when we're talking about ascending to your higher purpose, we're just talking about going upwards and never backwards. Just how do we take a step forward towards whatever goal we're trying to reach? Some people have a physical goal, you know, whether we getting fit in the gym, things of that nature, financially. Some of us want to learn something new, but we're holding ourselves back for whatever reason. So this build, we're going to try to tap into what may be these reasons that may be holding us back from tapping in to that next step or taking that next step in whatever direction we may want to go. And the reason why we're using the word insanity, because it's not until, you know, recently in my journey, I say what I said to you before we even got on camera. I said, be careful what you choose to call yourself. That should be one of the most conscious things about your existence, is knowing what are you calling yourself and what title are you giving others, because that's the value you're giving it. And the title you're giving yourself, I ain't gonna say trick your brain or your spirit, but it's almost like if it's all working together as a unit, if I see the point guard call this play, we gonna try to form to that play. So if you're the point guard, the quarterback of your life, and you say, all right, I'm a thug, I'm a gangster, I'm a pretty boy, I'm a whatever, that's going to be the box that you in. That's why I said you got to watch the title. Then you realize that shit is insane to even box yourself. That's why we call it an insanity, because it's like, I'm using it more so as a metaphor for like you limiting yourself. Why limit yourself? Why aim to be perfect when you haven't met a perfect person ever in your life? You never met anyone who could save the world, but you wake up every day and you put that on your back, and then you wonder why you're stressed. We're not telling you to be careless. Don't do things like that. But I'm saying sometimes I feel, God, we create our own misery through our insanity. And I'll let you continue and we keep on.
Perfect. That was excellent. Excellently put. Birds born in a cage think flying is an illness. I repeat, birds born in a cage think flying is an illness. And you're born in a cage by the culture, and then you cement it by believing it. And that in itself is a form of insanity. Like you said, the labels, the what you choose to call yourself, what you choose to call others, you start to incarcerate your own mind and your own being. You lock yourself into this body is made of trillions of cells. In the judgment that you render about yourself and others, you now begin to lock yourself into that paradigm. And it's hard to come out of that paradigm. That is a form of insanity when this is a world of unlimited data and information. when you lock it to a finite thing as such, not realizing the divine principles that exist in the universe and exist within you, to be able to come out of that and ascend to your purpose. Because your main goal should always be, what is my purpose? I'm first, my purpose is second, and everything else is thirdary, fourthary, and fifthary. And when I'm good, everything around me is good. It's not a selfish act. It's a selfless act. To understand that you come first, your purpose comes second, and everything else falls in line. And when you're good, everything and everyone around you is good. It's just the order of the day. The minute you fall off your purpose, if you relinquish your purpose to someone else, they will hate you for it, even if it's to their benefit. That's man or woman. So we got to deal with that reality of human tendencies when you relinquish your purpose. Go ahead, fine.
Yeah, I mean, when you relinquish your purpose, you open up the gateway that's one of the gateways, one of them, to jealousy, in my opinion.
Go ahead.
Because when you see somebody, I know this is all just from my perspective, because in life we all in our own vehicle, the body. I'm in my vehicle just cruising.
Facts.
And I just feel like the only people to me that appear to be honestly happy, not just happy for the sake of trying to sell me something, I mean happy as like true indeed, are the people who stay true to their path. And they're okay with the judgment. They're okay with you not understanding why they not married. They're not upset by none of these things. And, so that's more insanity, to try to live up to, a society standards and things. Because look at it like this, right? A matter of what's good and bad varies from culture to culture.
Absolute fact.
So you could be standing in this room and having one girlfriend may be praised. You may stand in the next and may still be praised. And the whole purpose is like, why put yourself in a box to where it's like, okay, I'm going to force myself to feel this way. This one way of thinking at all times. Stay true to you. Don't be scared of changing your mind tomorrow and saying, you know what, I'm not comfortable with this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I feel like life rewards those who are honest to themselves. Your path starts just like the yellow brick road. Damn, that shit, man. It's one thing always leads to another, because it just hit me how a lot of these movies be leaving so many jewels, and you think it's just jokes and games going on, but you could peep a jewel in all these little situations.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Your yellow brick road start lighting up on you when you develop the courage and you get this, then you have to go see all these all these pieces to your inner self. Wow, it's crazy how I'm viewing that. Nobody probably ever viewed it like that, but I'm looking at it like that, bro. Once you start working on your inner self and staying true to yourself, conquering your fears and getting on your purpose, boom, that yellow brick road open up. And everybody you're supposed to know, you meet along the way. Everybody you're supposed to love, you meet along the way. Everything for you is on that brick road. But it didn't open up until you got to click your heels, so to speak, click your Timbs or whatever you're wearing. Facts. What you think of that? Because that just really just came to me.
The yellow, it came from the ethers.
That wasn't even premeditated. I never even spoke those words in my entire life, but it felt true to me. And that's what it just got born to me. And I'm going to carry that. Because I'm living it.
The yellow brick road that you speak of and that you're living.
It's golden. It's real golden.
When we met each other at the spot, and we had no idea that we came from the same hood, but it was just a natural bond.
It's part of the yellow brick road, you see what I'm saying?
It's part of the yellow brick road, unbeknownst to us at that time. Now we realize it. The natural cohesiveness of the energy and how we came together. And the way I realized we was from the same hood in Coney Island was, Screamy Antoine Brown had put up a video of you.
Peace.
What up, Screamy?
Yes,
and he had put up a video of you, and it was a lot of cats out in the island. I don't know what building y'all was in, but y'all was all rhyming and
back in my younger days.
There was a chick in the background. She was rhyming. Forgot her name. And then I said, wait a minute. And then I started looking you up on YouTube, and then I called you immediately. I said, yo, you never told me you was from the island. And I said,
so
it makes
everything
sense.
was Coney Island. I never did anything outside of there till now.
And it made sense. And I said, that's why we bond so naturally and organically. It was never forced, right? And so we coming from that environment that we come from, You said something to me earlier. You said Coney Island's a painfully beautiful place to grow up in, and
beautiful.
I had to ask you about 5 times. Say that again, because that's exactly how I feel.
Up to me,
Go ahead.
I don't go. This whole thing be about Coney Island. I do that, but I love everything about it. The pain, but the landscape to me is just so unique. That's what I really was getting at too. You're not going to see a piece of land like that probably nowhere, and for it to have a ghetto inside of it, to me, makes it beautiful. It makes it authentic. You know, you experience true love in the ghetto. True pain. It's just one of the greatest things to grow you. But you don't stay there. You don't stay in any school for too long, because life is school. Move around. You know, now I kind of understand why some of the elders will always encourage that when you're young. Move around, see some things. You know, that'll help build you up. It'll help build you up, man. But what you also got to be always conscious of, because wherever your starting point is, whatever you start at, see, since you didn't choose to be there, I believe everywhere you act for a reason. Because a seed, it grows on certain soil for a reason. You can't. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an agriculture expert.
Keep going.
But I'm gonna ask you on camera, like, I don't think you can take any seed and put it on any dirt. I think certain seeds got to be cultivated on certain land.
That's a fact.
I don't think you could just say forcefully I'm going to grow this right here. It may not be for this type of land.
There won't be no harvest from it.
That's how I look at your existence.
Yeah.
You came from where you're supposed to come from.
Yeah.
But you got to grow out.
Yeah, and expand. And growing out, that expansion now, you take what you learned from your rudimentary growth, which is the environment, because we're expressions of we take on the expression of our environment, but then you're not supposed to stay locked there. You're supposed to expand by seeing and experiencing new data and information, aka new environments, comparison and contrast of the code of conduct over there versus the code of conduct where you grew up at, and then you start to see how different people operate under the same oppression as you, right? The socioeconomic status of our parents is what made us grow up around the people that we did. Their parents had the same socioeconomic status. So 38 Special said on one of his rhymes, he said, "That's your man because of circumstance." That's your man because of circumstance.
I like that line.
Because different socioeconomic status circumstances, but I had them as your ops on the other side of town.
Those are low frequency bonds. You got high frequency bonds alone. We have a high frequency bond.
Facts.
It don't have to be no circumstance. I don't have to live I don't live where you live.
Right.
I don't work where you work no more. We work for the same corporation, but not in the same building.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But that certain people you would never speak to again if you didn't work in the building with them.
Forced affiliation.
Yeah, that's
a low frequency
because
bond.
of circumstance.
That's a man.
I just wanted to give an example of what I
That's exactly
view
right.
as a low frequency bond.
Right.
You know, a lot of times I don't want to shake up no homes out there, but a lot of times what you call a ride or die chick is just a low frequency bond you had when you was a low value dude, and you just so caught up in this misguided loyalty to your lower self.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry. I'm
sorry.
real sorry. Because we really big on the ride or die chick and where we from. This is a major.
It's a misnomer. Well, it's a misnomer, and it's a simpish lower frequency type of ideology and mentality that's also pushed by the hip hop genre or culture.
Oh yeah, really.
And so they push that in videos, and Biggie said it, just me and my right, but that.
Just like the woke thug is so praised in our culture.
Correct.
You know, and people will confuse me with one if you come around a certain way. I don't even like that word, thug. It's such a low, such a disrespect. Oh man, I can't find the word, but it's just a low value type of situation. Don't call yourself that, man.
So me and you, we always call each other king or God or.
You are that of your situation. That ain't a lie at all.
Right.
I'll call you God as you controlling your whole cipher. Yeah, for sure.
And the words that we call each other is deep because it carries a frequency with it. And, you know, the thug and the gangster, my brother Sule had said to me some weeks back, he said it's irresponsible derelict behavior. The majority of it, meaning
That word
you,
always get me, derelict.
the dirt, yeah, and it hit me when he said it, because especially if you're a family man or you taking care of responsibilities with, young ones, and you're willing to follow the street codes and leave those children and that woman unprotected out here in a world that don't care about them. What does that say? Which one is more important? This is when I began to learn to leave them streets alone, and that it really was about a big lie. I see Troy Ave. Shout out to Troy Ave. I like Troy because he realized that the streets was a complete lie. He was praising it for a long time.
What's bad is the people that got upset by that, as if people defend the street corners as if the street corners give a F about them.
Mm-hmm.
As if they have ownership to them. But the only reason why I don't ever speak about these things with disdain from my bros in the streets and stuff, because I have such an understanding of just the human existence that I know is really all it means of survival and existence, meaning like this, right? A lot of times, if a person is not confident enough to see themselves, say you look in the mirror and there's this many job titles, they telling you there's this many job titles that could feed you in this world. A cashier, a lawyer, a maintenance man, this and the third. Many people will overlook probably the first 28 options on the thing, because in their mind, auntie said you ain't shit. Pardon me, YouTube. The teacher said you was stupid. Shorty said you was just a lame. So you ain't try to be no lawyer, none of this stuff. You're like, get this out of here. I could be a real NIGGA. It's nothing but an easy job title. The same way I'm a joke on myself and say I always used to take maintenance on any corporation because I knew that was the quickest hire. Like, and my mother used to joke with me as a shorty, like, you don't pick up a book, they're gonna throw you a broom. That was our house joke growing up. And people wonder why. Let's just talk about the job, and we're gonna get a little personal for 30 seconds. I'm sorry, because this is where we met, on the job. I'm the guy that was sweeping. Does it bother me? I don't sound like a guy that has to sweep. I don't say no, not at all, because I know who I am. I know the broom is just a check for that time. But then I also knew the difference between me and my other coworkers was that there is, to a certain extent, a certain mentality that comes with certain titles. People that lay and stay in certain titles, you're going to develop a certain way of thinking. But I'm going to go back to the streets and say people don't have the confidence in them, and it starts at home. They don't believe they could be this, that, and the third. And that's why, if you always used to say, yo, I notice you get a little compassionate when I talk about certain things, it's only because I'm not going to say nobody else has that level of understanding or compassion, but I'm going to say that if I'm going to refrain from being a hypocrite, and I'm going to, like I started in this bill and I said people who aim to be perfect are insane, I would say, okay, if we can agree that ain't nobody perfect, and I'm saying you insane to think you perfect, then I would think you also insane for getting at people's imperfections. I think it's equally retarded to me. That's why I told you I listen to a lot of Jay-Z now, because I go through his music catalog and I realize he had no concern with nobody else was doing. That's the only way to happiness. You get on your path and you just go. You can't really be. That's why all this other stuff is misguided activism. You really ain't saving no babies by talking about how crazy they are every day. I'm sorry, y'all, because the world you can't show me a moment, a time where a non-violent, perfect world existed. I'm not saying I gave up on that, but what I'm saying is the only way you changing anything is by changing yourself.
That's a fact.
All of this rah is good if you want donations and you wanna be the guy. I get it. I'm just thankful that the universe allowed me to figure out other ways to be the guy, not have to be, some old thing that's really insanity. And this whole thing is going to draw it back to insanity. I don't care what we talk about. I'm gonna whip it back to insanity. Because if I think you feel you're the savior, you're insane. If you think you're just so beautiful, a guy has to deal with your BS, you're insane. If you think that a guy has to live under you or fear your extortion or whatever because you have the ability to be violent, that guy's insane. Don't realize he could do the same thing to you. It's all insanity, man. It's all insanity.
And this insanity, we see it play out on so many different levels. And it transcends culture. It transcends different ethnic backgrounds. because everyone has these insanities going on, and there is no, the only perfection, like we said before, is in death. As long as you're here, you should always be striving to be a better version of yourself, to ascend to your purpose. And your purpose is what coats and protects you in the midst of all this chaos and disorder, which is what time and space, which we call experience, is mainly about. You're always going to have stumbling blocks, but remember, without friction is the parent of growth. Without no friction and pushback, you wouldn't, even working out, like we both work out. So what you're doing is you're tearing muscle, you're using gravity and physics to tear muscle in order to build it back stronger. You need friction in order to build.
Not to cut you off, King. I just want to say one line: growth and comfort don't coexist.
No, they don't. They don't coexist. They don't belong in the same room. So people have to use that as a catalyst in order to springboard themselves into their purpose and into finding where they want to be and where they need to be. Because ultimately, your purpose is what's going to make people gravitate towards you. And it shields you from, I want to say, the judgment of the world when you're not doing well, quote unquote, whatever that really is. Because not being on your purpose will put you in a very dark space out here.
Oh, you would be mentally, come on, it would be like, you take a damn animal, take him out the zoo, you take him out the jungle, put him in the zoo. I feel bad for those animals every day. You're somebody's show. I feel, but I have a compassionate heart towards entertainers. This is why I know for a fact I'll be one of the greatest directors that ever lived and producers, because I'm one of the few that ever came in this game and had this type of compassion. And I think that's why God made me an artist for over a decade, because I developed such a oneness with them that I record them with that, like it's me almost. It's something that I can't teach. It's something that nobody could teach another director that or another producer that.
That's a synchronicity that you naturally have with them organically.
Yeah, there's nothing like that. There's nothing you could do to compete with that part of how I approach my craft. And I love it, man. I see entertainers every day. They have a fight within every day, because emotionally, a good entertainer, a good musician. People sleep on entertainers, how emotionally intellectual they are. They may not be the greatest at science, math, or activism, or none of this stuff. But you have to feel emotions to create sound, to move rooms.
That's a fact.
This is not even an opinion. So you don't care if it's artists you don't like. They understand something about alchemy and frequencies, and they're manipulating it. I don't care, even if they're doing it unconsciously, they don't even know they're doing it.
Break down the alchemy part deeper to the people that don't understand.
I tell you, right? What these guys have the ability to do, right, is take one situation, and you could compare this situation to lead. You say this is lead, this situation. I'm from this project on this brick wall. All right, and we got the gang here. Okay, I'm watching this every day. This is let's say what I say is a beautifully painful situation we in, right? And we compare it to some lead. The gang is getting up every day, acting intimidating, doing drugs, doing all this. I'm the artist here that could feel what's going on more than anybody. I could feel the emotions of our sadness, of our depression, of all of this. You know what? I'm going to take this to the studio now. I may not even been the guy who's doing these activities, but I'm the guy who could feel them more than anybody in these projects. You know what? I'll just use Nasir Jones as a case study. I'm Nasir Jones. I'm going to go in here now and take all of this pain, all of this lead, and I'm going to go ahead and flip it into Illmatic, which is gold, platinum albums. We're going to take this pain, make it beautiful. We're going to take one element and turn it into something else useful. So all these artists, that's their only true real, I ain't going to say they can't do other things in life, but that is such a unique, and why do you think it's one out of every couple thousand that have the ability to do it on a high level? So then the insanity kicks in when you start thinking you're responsible for the woman's rights and the kids' rights. No, the parents. How about the person that gave birth to them be responsible for that? If everybody did their job, the world, the corporation, let's just forget about the world. your job, your household to run smooth if everybody just did their job. Why do we, that's a whole nother bill, but I don't know why we sitting here trying to put pressure on, this athlete, this 360 slam dunk. We want this guy to win a slam dunk contest and raise our kids. And he only get one check.
Man.
And we count his money.
Man.
Come on, that's a whole nother bill. But it goes back still to insanity. So it's this bill, ladies and gentlemen. If you one of them people at home worrying about what LeBron James and Michael Jordan done donated, you need to ask yourself what you done did for your baby cousin. Forget some stranger in Afghanistan or Africa or something. What have you done for little Timothy, your 8-year-old cousin who suffers from autism? People don't want to talk to me, man. And that was on a serious tone. People don't want to talk to me. Yeah, I got to understand I play a lot. I be nice. I joke. I laugh because I know if I really, really, really zero in on what's really happening, it'll just be me and a handful of people that can handle that conversation. It's too much. It's too much.
Well,
it'll make me emotional.
Well, there's a saying that the truth always cuts, but sometimes you don't bleed out right away. Right?
Yeah. So
when you speak certain truths to people, they don't realize they leak until a few days or weeks or months later, but it always cuts, and truth is very uncomfortable for the average. So having people to face themselves in the mirror, we spoke about this earlier, people don't want to do that, and what they do to comfort this discomfort, they normally deal with chemical addictions and other destructive behaviors.
I like to sometimes I go towards discomfort with open arms intentionally sometimes to build my endurance. I just tell you something on a low level, just something for whoever's watching and laugh at, then I make everything so with a serious tone. Here go a joke for whoever watching. I used to hit up this one chick all the time who I knew didn't want to hear from me just so I could build up a tolerance to being turned down, because most guys are being scared to turn down. I used to work on it. I used to hit her up purposely just to see if she would be upset today. And I think about reading the Malcolm X biography, right? Malcolm was like, yo, if you say hi to the same chick consistently long enough, eventually she'll crack. That's just a joke, y'all. That's a light humor. If it's not meant to be taken literally, I ain't telling you to go out there hit up the same chick 100 times, but the whole moral to what I'm saying is don't be scared of being uncomfortable. Don't be scared of even rejection. That's how come people never achieve nothing that they want to achieve, because they nervous. And you can't find out what's for you until you go try something. So I ain't try everything, but at least you could carry on in life knowing you tried. Like, okay, that's not for me. Okay, let me go find what's for me. I ain't saying keep bumping your head over and over and over, but be okay. Be okay with stepping in the ring and taking a punch. Everybody want to give a punch. Nobody want to take no pain, never. Let it grow you. Let it grow you. And you'll know when you had enough. You'll know. Your spirit will let you know, like, all right, you had enough. Like, it's time to live your best life now. And that's when you win. But you got to go through the chambers. You got to go through you have to go through it, I believe. It's worth going through. You appreciate life more. The insanity phase, I think, is necessary. But this build is just to let you take a look and examine yourself and ask yourself, am I in the insanity phase of my life, or am I finally living my life?
In your purpose.
When you're in your purpose, that's when your clock really starts.
Yeah. So it's really insanity versus purpose. Where am I in the midst of my existence? How do I venture over more into the purpose side versus the insanity side? And I have, in order to identify insanity, I have to be real and truthful with myself, which is very discomforting for most people. And being able to deal with that discomfort is a whole nother process. Some people need mentors. Some people can do it on their own. Everyone is different. Everybody have different weak points, strong points. This is part of existence. So you have duality in all things. Strengths, weakness, up, down, right? Left, right. These things, this comes with existence, and being able to understand that and manipulate that, or turn the alchemy, like you said earlier, convert that negative energy, that minus symbol, and put a vertical, which creates a plus symbol, right? Which is a cross or a crucifix, right? And you have 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree, and 90 degree here. So all of this now turns into your cipher. You have 360. These things all exist, and how do you use this mathematics to ascend to your purpose? this stuff can really be applied in real time. And for the viewers out there to be able to use that and take that science of alchemy or being an alchemist, and all negative situations are there on purpose to propel you to that level.
That's why I'm gonna just leave it like this, because I feel like we definitely come into it. We covered a nice amount in a nice amount of time, but I want to leave people with this, even if this ain't my final thought. I'm gonna say on my way out. People don't smile all the time because they're happy. Some of us are just strong and we understand what's happening. There's no answer in being upset. We know how this could be a detriment to our health physically and emotionally. So we choose an alternative to smile. That doesn't necessarily mean happiness, because I don't mean to scare people in this one. It's just a matter of my opinion. But I truly do believe pain and sadness is a natural state, and everything else is just a break from it. Why you think people, that's just my opinion. So I'm telling somebody to prove me wrong. You wake up every day in pain. You wake up every day feeling like something ain't going right, but then you got to do something to counteract that. And that is just like a high that only lasts for so long. People be partying to distract themselves, feel good, smoke. That's what we talking about that. Yeah, I do it. Let's just say people.
We all do it.
We all do it. I smoke joints to ease the pain and things like that, and then you're going right back to whatever it is that's leaving you insecure. And I personally believe that the unknown and death itself left everyone with a certain amount of insecurity, myself included. And it's a conscious effort to work with it, because you can't go against it.
No.
I'm gonna leave you some more jewels. Emotions, you can't go against emotions and the inevitable. Some things you just gotta go with it. Gotta go with it. You
spoke about pain. I did a video about DMX's old song, Slipping. To live is to suffer, but to survive is to find meaning within the suffering. To find meaning within the suffering is the alchemy.
Yeah.
It is the alchemy. Find meaning within the suffering.
Now, do you see how his line out of his own mouth is a testament to what I was saying? I'm telling you who they are and why I'm compared, because I know who I'm dealing with. No disrespect to y'all artists out there. Don't get mad at me. I know when y'all recording or looking at me, you telling me you're a gangster, you just said that, and you did gangster stuff. I ain't knocking you. But you're really an alchemist, man. Really emotional. You're the highest level of emotions. That's why you can cry on the song. You can make us want to cry. You can make us want to dance. You can make us want to shoot somebody. So just know, you have a lot of power of people's emotions in your hands. And that's that. And I'm not saying make the most positive music or nothing like that, because people naturally have anger in them. And if it expresses themselves over a beat, cool. But take 5 minutes out your day or out your week or out your life and just do a little video on the side and let people explain your craft a little better. The way I'm explaining it for you, and I'm not an artist. I'm actually getting you guys, I ain't gonna say off the hook, but I know I'm kind of rambling, but I view myself also as like a entertainment lawyer, so to speak. Meaning that if y'all trying to bring all these artists up on charges, I ain't gonna let y'all even win. Y'all not gonna win, not with me. I'm ready to battle whoever. I'm saying let these artists off the hook. Yeah, I'm saying that. What do you mean? Because y'all letting the parents get off the hook by blaming the artists. Y'all letting the uncles, the brothers, the next door neighbor is getting off the hook. Because it take a village, right? We such hypocrites, man. We say it take a village, this, that, and the third, but then we going to get mad at who's the most popular with the most money, because we in the middle, we got jealousy and insecurity in us. We think he do the, it's nothing, man. But to my artists out there, take a minute out your day, and I hope if you didn't understand that you were an alchemist and you are a high level of emotions, accept that. Emotions don't mean you soft. A person that could feel emotions could be the most you could be one of the most successful people in the room in any arena, because you could feel the temperature where everything is going. You don't have to be the smartest if you could feel, because some people can't feel; they only could think. Think on that one.
Just to close out. Emotions. This human anatomy is a regulatory system of emotions, chemicals, and hormones, ECH. So to say that you're not emotional is a lack of emotional
What,
intelligence.
you in a box? Where you dead?
Right, and
You stiff?
the only time you won't have emotions is when you stiff as a
Exactly.
dog.
So let's cut. That's more insanity.
It's more
Because
insanity.
everything we say is gonna snap back. So when you ready to stop being insane,
Mm-hmm.
you're there. You're there.
So yeah,
Oh wait, here goes a key
Go ahead.
for you to understand. You probably asking, damn, how do I know if I'm insane or not?
mm-hmm.
Right? This may sound crazy to you,
Mm-hmm.
but if somebody called you crazy, you may be doing the right thing. Because that may you may be a non-conformist. You may have snapped up out of that box.
Yeah.
So now you're crazy to them.
Uh,
I'm not saying all you that are called crazy are right path,
mm-hmm.
but I'm saying you might want to aim for being called different. Here goes a better word.
Not following social cues.
Right. You might want to let break a few hearts in a good manner.
Facts.
You might want to you may want to let a few people down with your honesty. That's the best way I could clarify that without just telling you let people down. Let them down with your honesty. Not with your grimy soul or nothing like that, but with your honesty.
And if they stick around, then that's for you.
That's for you.
That's how you know it's really.
That's
for
how you know. And that goes back to me saying you find everything for you on your yellow brick road.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends, your lover, you ain't got to sit there and negotiate all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You find all that shit is just laid out right here. Hey, friend.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, lover. Hey, teacher. Hey, everything is there, man.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go. Peace and love to y'all. Thank you, my brother. It's an honor to be here
yes,
with
sir.
you.
Yes, sir. So
I
with
tell
that
you,
being said,
whoever's listening, bless you. You know, reach out to me, the Fire Factory, on all platforms.
mm-hmm.
I love to build, and I love everything that's involved with peace, love, and entertainment. Thanks.
Word. So with that being said, let your last endeavor be your best endeavor. I repeat, let your last endeavor be your best endeavor. Salute.
Peace and love.